Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about some different rituals, and I'm going to break this up into a couple of different videos, so hopefully it flows a little bit easier. But I really wanted to do kind of some lunar eclipse rituals that will really help you kind of connect to each one. So I want to do one that's for a new moon, one that's for a full moon. That's going to really help us kind of like understand what we should be doing at that time frame to get ready for the eclipse energy. And a lunar eclipse energy is pushing us in different realms, and a full moon eclipse energy compared to a new moon eclipse energy is going to feel completely different, and they have different ideas and different energies in them. Eclipses are like super powered. It's kind of like Superman, super powered new moons and full moons, and they're all about helping us realign our life purpose. It's all about correcting like our personal path, kind of like what have we been doing wrong, what do we need to be doing, kind of like getting on your life purpose. If you haven't been feeling about it, this is kind of like we're going to get back on track with this. And that can really come in a couple of different times throughout the year to kind of help us move along. I think astrologers often kind of like realize like after the eclipse, really the energy stays high for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then it kind of tapers off and stays at that lower level until the next eclipse, and then it kind of like kicks it up again. I will tell you, each eclipse, no matter what it is, full moon or new moon, really kind of takes on, part of it is the sign that it's in. What is the sign that it's in, and how is that going to affect it? Because each one is going to affect things differently. But also, you have to also think about where the node is on. So it's a northern node or a southern node, south node on the energy, and that's going to be helping you kind of like pushing things into the future, or it's going to be putting things into the past. So it's kind of like, where is this pushing you? But all three of those parts kind of really define where the eclipse is going to be affecting us and what rituals that we need to do to kind of move that energy along. I will tell you that astrology really allows us to kind of predict with the eclipse energy, knowing what sign it's in, knowing where the node is in advance, and then kind of like where are we moving with this. It's going to really assist us to kind of really make our desires manifest for us. It can also help us amp up what's around us. So just know this is going to be a great one to kind of like do either one. And this is either for the new moon or the full moon is going to affect us a little bit differently. And which one comes first, sometimes that can even affect us as well. So know that all things are important when we're talking about our eclipse energy, and it can eclipse us moving forward really, really fast, or it can eclipse us moving backwards, kind of like into past things, and really fast, so we can kind of clear things out and then jump forward again as well. So just know that it's really important, and we're going to be talking about all things eclipse rituals for new moon and full moon. So let's talk about our ritual around our new moon eclipse energy. So kind of the new moons are all about like new opportunities, new beginnings, things that we want to start out fresh, maybe even opening up to like new circumstances or new events that are coming around. The 2 weeks surrounding an eclipse is a great time for like meeting people, starting new habits, new goals, setting our intentions. And I usually say those are before the eclipse even happens, like the 2 weeks prior to the eclipse happening is kind of getting into that energy. What do you want to get? What do you want to find? Kind of like, what do I want to draw into me? Kind of really thinking about what you really want to do those. And as you start opening up that energy, even before the eclipse happened, you can already start drawing these things into you. I'm going to talk about a couple of different rituals that I do, because I think it's important. Like, you need to find things that work for you. These are some things that really work for me. I've really enjoyed a lot of these. I've done these for years. So this is kind of one of those like, okay, what are we going to use? So I will tell you, that's kind of the cool part about it is if you don't like one of my steps, like definitely totally replace it with one of your own. It's really important to do that. So a lot of people say to start out with a candle. I don't necessarily light the candle and leave it lit, so you can find like 7 or 10 day candles or whatever else. I normally don't like leaving candles lit, probably because I have a dog with a wild tail and I'm always afraid it's going to fall over. So what I'll do is I will set my intentions, and I may do like a small little candle and light it as I think about it in the morning as I'm setting my new energy and the intentions for my my new moon eclipse energy ritual, kind of like that energy. So I only light it for a little bit, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, as I'm really getting in that energy first thing in the morning. And then I will blow it out and kind of just like let it go until the next morning. So I will only just light it for a short period of time. One of the things I would say is picking your candle may be more important than you think. And I usually pick the candle that really kind of closely resembles what I'm trying to manifest on my new moon eclipse. And I kind of do it with my chakra color. So if I am trying to bring up like self-confidence or something like that, I might use a red. That would be your first chakra. An orange if I'm trying to build something or create a new business or do something new, change career, something like that sort of thing. And kind of just connecting the color of the candle with the chakra that mostly resembles what I'm trying to manifest. So kind of like opening up would be my throat chakra, so that would be blue. If I'm trying to open up my heart chakra and kind of open up to new possibilities in my heart chakra, then that would be, of course, a red. So that's kind of like, what do you want to do? How do you want to do this? So finding ones that really resonate with you. I would say list anything, kind of like my number one is like list anything that you are ready to draw into you. And I would say kind of doing like 3 or 5. I wouldn't do more than that. You might get a little overwhelmed with that. So kind of like 3 to 5 is probably the most I would ever do. I normally do 3 because 3 is my favorite number. So I really, really love that one. And listing them out. And when I list them out, I am going to put so many freaking details in there. It's going to be insane. I guarantee you. I am going to put, like, the title of it may be my new job or my new relationship or my new assistant or whatever else. I've done it. I've manifested assistants before. It could be my new home. It could be new prosperity. It could be anything. What is it that you want to put in? I would put that as a title and then really explain what it is, how is it going to work for you, all the little details in there. And I want to write it out in hand. I don't want to print it out. I want to write it out in my own hand and get as clear as I possibly could. Almost like I could hand this list over to someone else and they could go get it for me. That's how clear it is. That's a great way to do that. Number 2 would be kind of like setting those affirmation statements. Now that I have my new assistant, I love teaching them how to, whatever they're going to help me with, assist me with in the business. It's fun that now I'm doing this. It's great in my new business. I'm already making money from day one. Or if I'm amplifying my business, maybe it's like, I'm so excited now that I easily make X number of dollars per month or per week or whatever it is. So kind of like really open it up. The more clear you are, I would say using words like just don't even go there. Make it more clear, make it more personal, not the business, it's my business. And I would even state the name like my business, and I would state my business name. I would say like my assistant, not just a assistant, my assistant is going to assist me with modifying videos or whatever it is, and like being as clear as you possibly can, making sure that you're making it as personal to you as possible. So anytime I'm going to make it as clear as possible, but with using that. So some of the sentences may sound really weird in English, but it's all about being the clarity with your angels and guides that you're getting that on the other side. The next one would be, I would set up a place to put this. Where am I going to put my list of the things that I'm trying to bring in, my affirmation statements? Where am I going to put that? You could put that on a poster board. You could do all 3 of them or 5 of them together, or you could put them on individual small ones. It's totally up to you. Setting a space for this to come in, and I would put my candle in the middle, and I may put crystals around it. If y'all don't already know, I'm kind of crystal crazy, so I love crystals. So any of that, kind of like bringing that in, that sort of thing. I will say, when I start doing it, I would kind of like add things to the space around it. So if there's pictures of what I want, if I drew them, I would even make that even more strong, and putting affirmation statements around it. So it's going to be drawing that little energy around. I will tell you, kind of like setting up that area really, really well. I will also tell you I probably would use my flower of life, or something similar to it that's going to be kind of like bringing in, kind of like, especially the new moon is all about beginnings, and the flower starts with the seed of life and then kind of goes into a flower of life. So it's kind of all about expansion and growth. And so I would bring that in as well. I would set up my time in the morning, and like I said, I would light my candle. I would recite my affirmations, and as I recite them, like, how does it feel to have this new business? How does it feel to have this new assistant? How does it feel to own this house? How does it feel to whatever it is, like whatever that is that I'm really trying to draw into me, opening up to that energy is going to be doing it as well. I'm going to recite my affirmations really intently, really slowly, and with effort, like just really thinking about how does it feel to have it? How does it feel to have that around you? And spending time with each part of it, and kind of like, just how is this going to affect your life, and how is this going to bring in more business, or how is this going to bring in something else? Like, what is it going to do once you get this? How are you going to feel afterwards? How is that going to bring in this amazing energy? I would definitely like close everything down. I would put out the candle for the day, and kind of just leave that as well, kind of like, this is like the magic is happening right here. And like I said, I would visit it every day for 2 weeks, and it's one of those, like, just allowing that energy to come in, adding more energy to the pictures, like stickers or glitter or something like that, to kind of just amp it up would be as good as well. Kind of, you're just adding more energy to it. One of the other things I've done in the past is kind of a fun one, is to make a new moon eclipse crystal grid. A lot of words there. So this crystal grid will need to be like several pieces of moonstone. If you don't have more than one is fine, but it would, I don't want to say it needs to be huge, but I'm just saying, like, you need at least one because you're connecting to the moon energy. I will say several pieces of like quartz crystal, a crystal grid, and like I said, I would be using a flower of life, or you could also use Metatron's cube if you had that on something. You could do that as well. And I've seen people just like literally print it out and put it on, you know, stick it to a cardboard or in a picture frame and use that as their crystal grid. So it doesn't have to anything super crazy busy or whatever else. Kind of gathering any other stones that you want, any other images that you want, kind of like, what are those images? Now, prior to getting my crystal grid going, I would cleanse all of those stones and make sure they're cleansed, cleared off, all that kind of stuff. Like if I need to use salt with it, or I need to clean it in the moon energy, or just rinse it off, like I would make sure like all of that is ready to go in all of this. And then once I have all of my stuff ready to go, I have my either Metatron's cube or my flower of life kind of down, getting my stones in kind of like different piles. What else do I want to put in there? Sometimes I will use like 6 of sage. Sometimes I will have like Palo Santo sticks in there. There may be other things that I just feel like I want to put this on there. So I would gather all of those items together on the day that I'm going to make my crystal grid. I would write down my intentions that I'm choosing to manifest. So what is it that I'm choosing to manifest, and being as clear as possible. Clear is better. Like I said, the is a no-no word, because it really doesn't show any ownership, and you want to take ownership, like my new company, my new career, my new starting classes, or going back to business school, or whatever it is. Like, what is it? Make it as personal as you can. I would put out my crystal grid in front of me, and I would place like the moonstone like right in the middle. I would place it right in the middle and kind of like, okay, now we're kind of fashioning off of this. And then I would kind of work out in like a symmetrical kind of like rolling them out. Where do I feel led? And kind of just holding that crystal in my hands, and where does it feel led to go? And I'm going to place it in that spot, or put it in that area. Kind of feeling the energy every step of the way, because this is going to be bringing in that manifesting dream for you, allowing like your happiness, your joy about what you're bringing in, really fill your body up, like almost like you're almost giddy, like, oh my God, I'm so excited, this is coming in. And I would, as I'm placing these stones on there where I want them, I'm going to kind of reiterate my affirmation statements. I'm going to be reiterating what I'm choosing to draw into me. What is it that I'm choosing to draw into me? And I will kind of tell you, a lot of times when it's finished, I will kind of like roll my hands just over it and kind of like, because it's really connecting to my energy. That's what's manifesting all of this. Bringing in that energy, bringing in the crystals, kind of like really bringing this in. And then every day for about 2 weeks, I would kind of really put my hands over it and just like think about like everything that I'm drawing to me, my new career, my new car, my new business, my new home, whatever that is. And like, how does it feel to have that in your system? How does it feel like to sit behind the wheel of the car? What does it smell like in the car? Like, how does the engine sound? All of that kind of stuff, just bringing it in, making it more personal, is going to be a great way to manifest this energy for you. And I will say my last step would be keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. You are going to see signs of it working. You're going to see signs of it kind of coming into you. You're going to see signs of this kind of coming into your energy. Like, wow, this is what I'm manifesting. This is where I'm going with this. Like, yes, this is exactly what I want to draw into me. So these are some great ways to really think about this amazing energy. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.